I was having a very interesting conversation with someone that I recently connected with about being 40. And before I get into that, because I will get into that in a minute, because I think it's a really interesting conversation, I just want to make a note of the fact that in doing the job that I do, I have the opportunity to connect with a lot of different people such as yourselves that are here and part of the community. You share a lot with me, and I get to hear part of your story, which is incredible. And that connection means everything to me. But I also have this really cool opportunity to connect with other female entrepreneurs that are out there, that are blazing their own path, that are doing their own things, that have gotten themselves out of the societal expectation grind and are actually blazing a path for themselves. And this is one of those individuals. And as we've been connecting, we had this interesting conversation the other day about what it's like to turn 40. Because I don't know about you, for me, when I turned 40, I was in a place where I was like ready for it, where I couldn't, I was excited for this next phase of my life to begin. And I knew it was going to be the best part of my life because I had done all this internal work. I had done all this soul searching. I had come to this place of authenticity and I was ready to do this. So 40 for me was very exciting, but I know that's not necessarily the case for other people. I know if you had asked me when I was like 32 if I thought 40 was going to be scary, I would have said yes, absolutely. 40, my life is over. That's it. That's where the chapter ends and I'm just like doomed to stay the same for the rest of my life. And that was the interesting conversation we had around this age of 40, because I think you get like two camps of people. People like myself or like her, where we're like, man, you really come into your own at the age of 40. You really come into this place where you're starting to shed away like all of these societal expectations. You're no longer willing to just keep doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. You're either kind of in that space where you're ready to take the bull by the horns and make a life for yourself that feels good to you, or you fall into the category where you're of the opinion that you're too old to change, you can't make any difference in your life, things are just destined to be the same. Like if you're working a job, you're going to have to work it forever because there's no possible way that you could change careers now. And you get into this kind of stuck or stagnant momentum when you hit 40. And then the motivation, like the longer you stay in that period of like stuckness, the more your motivation kind of slips and slips and slips. And you kind of get into this apathetic way of being where you're just almost wearing a mask every single day, because that's what you have to do to get by. And when I say you're wearing a mask, you're like putting on a show. Like you're just making it seem like you have it all together, like you have your bills to pay, your house to pay, your kids, all this stuff, you have the job, and you kind of wear this mask to make everyone seem that you're happy, because in your own mind you're thinking, well, this is what it's going to be. I have no capacity to change, so I may as well just put on my mask and make it seem like I have it all together. And part of that is societal pressure as well too. Keep that in mind, because society tells us that if we follow this set path, if we go through school, get an education, get the corporate job, get married, have kids, have grandkids, that this is the key to happiness. And if you are not following that path, if you are not feeling happy with that predetermined journey that you're supposed to go on, look at all the air quotes, they're all over the place, then you have, like, if you haven't done that, then you're a failure. And if you have done that and you're unhappy, then what's wrong with you? There has to be something wrong with you. And I think that's what happens at this age of 40, where you should be coming into your own and really being the fullest expression of yourself. There's this element of feeling like bitter or, passive aggressive because you aren't happy, but you don't know why, because on paper, everything looks the way it should. And I'm using should in quotations because if you know me, I hate the word should. And I just feel like nobody should be telling you what you should or should not be doing. And if they are, you should tell them to stop being a shithole. I know there's a lot of people that are going to watch this and are going to laugh, but the point of this story is that we really reflected on this together as two people from different walks of life coming together and being like, yeah, this seems to be this trend. And I want you to know, if you are someone that is 40 years old and you are a woman and you are feeling like you have to wear a mask and it's exhausting and it's daunting and you're tired of feeling like you have to have it all together because you followed the path, I want to validate that experience, because you are just doing what you thought you needed to do in order to achieve happiness. And that was follow the journey, follow the path, take this step, put one foot in front of the other. And if you're at this age now where you're like, I'm not even who I am, I'm just doing what I need to do because somebody else told me this is what the key to happiness was, you are not alone in that. That is actually quite common. I have encountered numerous people that are in this same boat. And had I not done the internal work I did before I turned this incredible age, I would probably be feeling the exact same way. It is very valid because, again, we are kind of put on this path and we're told this is the key to happiness. And if you do this, you're going to be amazing and life is going to be wonderful. But that's not always the case. If you are doing this because you truly are in love with your partner and you're in love with your life and everything is falling into place, that's one thing. But if you simply have done all of these things in an attempt to achieve some sort of happiness, but you haven't gone and done the internal work to be happy with your own self and you're not being authentic to who you are, you're then going to have this feeling when you get to this age where it's this massive discomfort, like, man, I should be happy. I should be happy. Why am I not happy? Why do I feel this way? And it's so common. It is so common. So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm the only person that feels this way, you are not. And it's because you've followed a path that has been designed for you as opposed to following a path that has been designed by you, because you're not in touch anymore with your likes, your joys, your passions, what brings you happiness, what you like to do. You're so attuned to what everybody else needs, what everybody else wants, that and you're wearing, literally, it's like you wake up and you put your society mask on, and it's exhausting, it's daunting. And that's why sometimes when people say, oh, I'm so tired, when you ask how they are, like, I start to wonder and I start to get curious about what's going on. Is that actual physical exhaustion, like they're not getting enough sleep? Or is there an element of exhaustion there that is they're so drained because they're so tired of pretending to be something they're not? They're so tired of pretending they have it all together when really on the inside they just want to scream. And people are like, oh, you have it all together, you have the perfect life, da 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 da. And inside you just want to be like, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not screaming obviously right now because it's 7:15 in the morning and there's other people in my house and they would think I have lost my mind. But all this to say is that as you reach this age, and if you're someone that is 40 years now and you're feeling wildly dissatisfied and you can't put your pulse on why, I want you to send me a message and tell me, because that is the first piece of this, is admitting it to yourself and saying the words out loud. And if you're looking for a safe space to be able to share those innermost thoughts because you couldn't bear the thought of anybody else knowing, I want you to go ahead and use me as that vehicle. Let's open up a chat to see what we can do in order to get you moving towards feeling like you can take off that mask and step into the truest expression of yourself, because being 40 is a gift. You have all the wisdom of the years before you, and you're in this beautiful place where you can start really like opening up your wings and flying and being who you truly are. But if you are holding yourself back because you're adhering still to the expectations of other people, that's going to be hard to step into that beautiful authenticity that is you. You have a light to shine. It deserves to be shining brightly. But with that, I hope you are happy, healthy, and abundant. And of course, make it a great day, make it a great day, make it a great day. That's my sparkle dance. Sparkle and shine your light. Let's get to it.